Celtics with a chance to eliminate the Cavs tonight and move on to the NBA Finals. I'm Meghan Ottolini here in the Boston Herald newsroom, joined by John Sabachetti. John, you're a documented LeBron fan. How are you feeling about Game 6 tonight?
I feel pretty confident because the home team has won every game in this series so far, and in 4 of the first 5 games, the home team's gotten off to a double-digit lead in the first quarter. Tonight, Cleveland should be in good shape because those role players do play better in Cleveland than they do in Boston. J.R. Smith, Kyle Korver, players like that should be able to step out, help LeBron James in Game 6, but Game 7, who knows? But it does feel like a 7-game series, doesn't it? Kind of like the Milwaukee series did earlier in the year.
I had to stop you there. You're putting your Game 6 on J.R. Smith, the guy that had 5 personal fouls before he even made a basket, or he had 2 points at that point, last game. And that's who you're depending to get you, along with LeBron James.
Don't need a lot of help.
7.
Don't need a lot of help. Just, you know what, if they can make 40% of their shots, that'll be enough to get them over the top. Because even in Games 3 and 4, they played better, but not great. J.R. Smith and George Hill in that backcourt.
Well, Kyle Korver played great.
He did it, but of course, Ty Lue decided not to really play him in Game 5 because he was confused by the matchups, which a coach should never admit to be confused about matchups.
Particularly when Brad Stevens is on the opposite bench.
Exactly. You don't need to pump his tires anymore. We all are all Brad Stevens fans and know that he's such a great coach. But I think in elimination games, the last 10 elimination games for LeBron James, he's averaged nearly 40 points per game. Expect him to come out tonight very aggressive, try to force the action a little bit. Normally he sits back, tries to get everybody involved. I think he's going to be much more aggressive tonight, like he was in Game 2 against Indiana when they were in a must-win situation, and they are certainly in a must-win situation tonight, because if this doesn't go well for Cleveland, you probably never see LeBron James in a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey ever again.
Well, let's turn to the Celtics. We all know that Terry Rozier has a record of disappearing on the road. When he leaves TD Garden, Scary Terry stays back home in Boston. So who else can the Celtics lean on if that happens again?
The easy answer is Al Horford. Now, Horford's the veteran on this team. He's been in countless playoff series in the past. He's played better at TD Garden than he has on the road. He's averaging 8 fewer points per game on the road than at home. You would think it would be a player like Jason Tatum, but Jason Tatum has played just as well on the road as he has at home, even though he's only a 20-year-old rookie. So Al Horford has to be aggressive early. I think the lineup change that Brad Stevens made in Game 5 by putting Aaron Baines in the starting lineup helped Al Horford, because now you can match up the 2 bigs of Cleveland with 2 bigs of your own, gives Horford a little bit more space to operate.
What about Jaylen Brown? You're not interested in what he has to offer?
I'm always interested in Jaylen Brown. I think he plays in spurts, and I think he's still not 100% from that hamstring injury. He's an aggressive player, but again, I don't think he's at 100%. So if you can get 15 points from Jaylen Brown, I think that can help the Celtics.
So you're looking towards a Game 7. You think it's going to go to 7 on Sunday?
I do, because it just feels that way. They needed 7 games to beat Milwaukee. That was strictly a home series. They only won 1 road playoff game this year, the Celtics, and that was in Game 3 in Philadelphia. And the Sixers had a 5-point lead in overtime in that game. They kind of gave it away. Kind of feels like that Wizards series a year ago, which was dominated by the home teams. I think that's what you're going to see tonight. Cleveland come out strong. Game 7, and Game 7 could be scary because LeBron James, in elimination games and Game 7s, he really steps it up. He'll be the best player on the court. But if we get to Sunday, he's going to need some help to get over the top against the Celtics.
Even though the Celtics are now 10-0 in the postseason at TD Garden. Yep, and we're just going to leave it at that. Celtics-Cavs tips off in Cleveland at 8:30 tonight. Thanks, Sab.
Anytime.